So I moved from America to the UK a little over a year ago, and I expected the obvious culture shocks. I expected to never understand what anyone at a train station was announcing. Smaller refrigerators and people saying cheers every 6 seconds. What I did not expect was that living here would change parts of my personality. And honestly, some of those changes have made me into a better human being. Not more British, just better. So today I want to talk about 5 British character traits that I used to find confusing and now genuinely admire. The first British trait that changed me is understated confidence. Americans, and I say this because I am one, are raised to project confidence constantly. You're supposed to sell yourself, be your own hype man. You're supposed to make yourself sound impressive. And in the UK, that energy comes off a little intense. What I've noticed here is that a lot of British people are actually very competent. They just don't feel the need to tell anybody. People are downplaying their accomplishments constantly here. Oh, it was nothing really. It's not too bad. Could have been worse. Meanwhile, they casually climbed Everest or invented a new vaccine or something. At first, I thought it was some kind of cultural insecurity. But after living here for a while, I learned that it's actually the opposite. A lot of British people seem comfortable with themselves and not in need of constant external validation. And I think that's rubbed off on me. I've become less performative over time. I don't feel the need to prove myself in every conversation anymore. And weirdly, that made me more confident, not less. The second thing is respect for people's space. I'm talking their physical space, emotional space, mental space. Americans are friendly in a very immediate way. We'll ask strangers where they're from, what they do, what their dreams are, all before they've had a chance to order their coffee. British people tend to be more reserved initially. And at first I interpreted that as this coldness, this kind of like disinterest in me and anything that has to do with me. But now I think it's often consideration. There's this unspoken British attitude of, I'm not going to impose myself on you unless invited. It's true. You see it everywhere. People apologizing for tiny inconveniences, people quietly minding their business, people pretending to not notice awkward moments. The sacred cultural institution known as the queue. Nobody appoints a leader. Nobody explains the rules. Everybody just knows exactly where they belong. You do that in America, and a line can become some kind of psychological war zone within seconds. So living here has made me become more aware about the energy that I bring into spaces. I find myself interrupting people less, I listen more, I become more comfortable with just living in silence, without this need to constantly try and fill it. And I like to think that's made me a little calmer to be around. The third British trait has honestly become one of my favorites. It's the ability to laugh in terrible situations. British humor is deeply connected to suffering. Rain? Joke about it. Trains delayed? Joke about it. Existential despair? Definitely joke about it. You see, there's this emotional resilience that's baked into British humor. In America, we often treat discomfort like a problem that needs to be fixed immediately. In Britain, there's more of this mindset of, well, this is awful. Anyway. And weirdly, that mindset is incredibly healthy. And it's not because the people here don't care. It's because humor creates an emotional distance from problems. It stops every inconvenience from turning into some kind of mini crisis. I feel like since I moved here, I've become less dramatic about problems. Like if something went wrong, I'd get pretty upset about it and sometimes even spiral. But now I'm more likely to go, bit unfortunate that. And weirdly, somehow, I feel better. The fourth trait is that British people seem way less obsessed with turning every moment of life into some kind of achievement. It's no secret that America has this hustle culture mentality where everything needs to be optimized. Your hobbies should become your business. Your workout should become content. Your morning routine needs 17 supplements and an ice bath. Meanwhile, British culture still seems to protect ordinary life. People genuinely value the simple pleasures here, like just going to the pub, or taking long walks, or gardening, or having a cuppa. Those nights where you're just talking nonsense with your friends for hours. There's less pressure to constantly become a better version of yourself every waking second. And honestly, that's been healing for me. I've become more present. I spend time enjoying my life now instead of constantly trying to optimize it. Ironically, since I'm less mentally exhausted all of the time here in the UK, I think I've become more productive than I ever was in America. The fifth British trait that I've really come to appreciate is the British people's masterful use of politeness. The British have turned politeness into what I can only describe as a social lubricant. In the US, politeness exists, obviously, but in the UK, it feels almost like this fully developed parallel language system. Especially the word sorry, because here, sorry doesn't always mean I did something wrong. It can mean I exist in your space and I acknowledge that fact. You exist in mine and I respect that. This situation is mildly inconvenient to the both of us and I would like us both to emotionally survive it. It's easy to think that people here just constantly apologize for no reason. Like bumping into a table. Sorry. Someone else bumps into them. Sorry. A pigeon flies aggressively past. Sorry. But over time I realized it's not some kind of weakness on the British people's part. It's just maintenance. Keeping social friction nice and low. It's this method of smoothing over tiny moments before they ever have the chance to become awkward or out of hand. I started doing it too. I say sorry now in situations where previously I probably would have just said nothing. And it's not because I'm guilty of anything, it just keeps interactions light, fast, respectful. It's like a social WD-40. Weirdly enough, it makes everyday life feel calmer. And I really like that. Living abroad will always do something strange to you. Take it from me. You stop seeing your own culture as normal and as just one way that life can be lived. And truly, living in the UK has made me appreciate where I came from and the UK even more. America gave me openness, ambition, optimism, warmth, and Britain has taught me restraint, humility, patience, and the ability to laugh at myself. And somewhere between those two cultures, I think I've become a more balanced person. Anyway, if you're someone who's lived abroad, I'd love to know what traits from another country changed you. And if you're British, please let me know if I've understood your country correctly, or if I've just completely embarrassed myself. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. Don't forget to hype the video to help get it in the algorithm and more eyes on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. And remember, being British is fun. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.